What's good? It's your boy Young Black back again to do a couple reviews since I ain't been on in a minute. I just picked up two new games, not today, but I had them a little while. Well, I got Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the 13th of August. It's really good. It's what it always was. Good fighting game, one of the best fighting games ever. Um, I went to the store and picked mine up and actually got the case and everything for it, even though it didn't come with a disc or nothing. It's just a case with a code in it to punch in on PSN and download the game. It also comes when you get it in the store with a month of digital Marvel comics for free if you got it from the store. But this is like the limited edition of the game, if there is any different editions of the game, because you actually get a physical case, and they only made, I think they said 15,000 of them to go around the whole USA. So if you don't get it in the case, you have to buy a PSN card and go download it from the council store. But like I said, the game is really good. The only difference between this version and the other versions is that they have it so you can set it up on a widescreen TV, which is good, but it does screw up a couple things, like when the characters come out, and characters like Jin, Jin with the big robot who actually uses the robot to fight in battle. When he does some of his moves or his introduction, and he comes out and the robot puts him down in his hand, you actually can see where the graphics cut off because the graphics aren't built for the widescreen, but the backgrounds are. So that's just the only little gripe that I could even see. The online is perfect. It has online, it has leaderboard, it has trophies. The game is perfect just about as an update to its original. The graphics are just like the original, except for you can smooth them out so that it doesn't have that real pixel texture to it. You can actually smooth out the pixels and make them look a little more hand drawn than they already are, so they're a little more put together in HD, so that the clarity is better. Also picked up King of the Fighters, which I talked about in one of my videos if you guys have been watching at all. King of the Fighters is real good. Is it better than Street Fighter 4? No. It's not better than Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 better than King of the Fighters? No. They're both good at what they're built to do. Street Fighter is built around the fights and the battles and everything, but it also has a little bit of a story into it too, which kind of throws people in a loop because you want to beat the game with certain characters to figure out certain endings of stories and things like that. Like Ryu's story connects with Ken's story, who connects, like they have it set up where there's different things happening during the ending of the game where you beat the game and it's the same scenario with a different character type of thing. Like with Ryu blowing up the machine reactor at the end for his ending in Street Fighter 4, and then somebody else is doing something else in their ending, which is the same at the same time as Ryu's ending, but they don't show that. It would have been nice to see certain characters have their own ending and not share situations as endings. It was okay, but still really good. King of the Fighters, on the other hand, doesn't have a story mode. It's really just built around the new look of the game, which to me sells the game in itself because there's no fighting game like this. This is the far the most beautiful fighting game I've seen in a long time, besides Blaze Blue. Street Fighter's good, but all they did was really go 3D. They took Street Fighter and made it 3D and kept it in a 2D fighting format so that the camera doesn't move around the characters when you fight. There's no 3D. It's still a 2D fighting game, but with 3D character models, basically. But they did art them up really well, though. That's what I call arting them up. But it's still a 3D fighting game, so it's really going away from the formula and towards a new era of how fighting games are supposed to look. I like how King of the Fighters took something old and they didn't slack off. Everything is hand drawn in the game. Each character took them 17 months, I believe, and there's 22 characters. So it took them 17 months a character. Every character's move, his brushing his hair in the wind, all of that is all hand drawn and animated by real artists. So are the backgrounds, which also move and look spectacular. This game looks awesome. It plays really well too, but not as good as Street Fighter though. But it still has a couple hitches. Like the online could be so much better. The online for this game is absolutely horrible. And I don't have anybody to sit here in front of me and play, probably like a lot of you guys. So when you buy something, you want to be able to enjoy it alone as well as with company. This right here is a game if you have a real good fighting buddy who plays fighting games just really good just like you, or you're gonna be really bored. You can get a good online game started if you're playing like against one person. You could play up to 8 people in the lobby form, but I wouldn't suggest it because the connection is horrible. Their servers are horrible. Whatever it is, it's really slow. It'll play, but it slows the game down to like you're fighting in the Matrix. You understand what I mean? But the game is really good though. You know, it's not just for the graphical overhaul. I know every people buy games and they want the whole package, which is fine if you want to buy, but nothing is perfect. And I've been playing King of the Fighters since '94, so I had to get this. I spent the night over my cousin's house, and we used to play this game all night long, King of the Fighters. All night long, we would just sit there and play King of the Fighters, King of the Fighters. Me and all my friends just stay at my cousin's house all night until the sun rose, just play King of the Fighters, King of the Fighters. On one TV, have another TV with Street Fighter going. When Street Fighter Alpha came out, Alpha 2 and Alpha 3. Um, so I'm really into the fighting game scene, but this game is more about the rebirth of what KOF really is, and you really feel that if you're a real King of the Fighters fan. If not, it's just going to be another fighting game in the bunch to you. You know, I have all the good fighting games that just recently came out because they're all really worth it. You know, if King of the Fighters wasn't worth it, I wouldn't never picked it up. But the art and the fact that the gameplay is still pretty solid is beautiful. I didn't really follow the storyline in none of the King of Fighters games. I know a little bit here and there about nests and all of that, the characters and the organizations that they're attached to, but I didn't really follow it too much. I don't think a lot of people in America did as much as they did in Japan. So I guess they took a little more liking for us to make the game just built off of what everybody knows, the fighting. You can't go wrong with that. And then they just throw a new art style on top of it. You know, but it's really good. You guys should go check it out. Go pick up Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because it's really worth getting also for all my fighting fans out there. And it's your boy Young Black. Holla at me.